Um, is anyone else already starting to get stressed out about what they're gonna buy people for Christmas? Because I sure am.
Oh, I'm not. I know what everybody in my
Listen,
family is getting. Gonna walk
he's
out
got
of
his
the.
potential swag to hand out to everyone from his cool big boy job.
I'm gonna walk out of the Congress like gift shop like I came out of the mall just with like bags.
Fair.
You get congressional merch, and you get congressional merch.
Yeah,
It's gonna
I
be
don't.
raining t-shirts and blankets and mugs.
I don't even have a canal mug.
They definitely make those. They have to.
I feel like they do. I just haven't gotten one yet,
Yeah.
which is kind of annoying. We don't have sweatshirts. That I'm super salty about because Friday this week I'm starting um I'm like actually starting the winter like maintenance season because there's like a break between when boats stop going through and then when we actually start doing things. Just I don't actually know why. Doesn't have to do with what like the other like me and the other like lock operators have to worry about. So not my problem. But we don't get sweatshirts and I'm really salty about it cuz it's going to be chilly.
Hmm.
It was cold today. I went out and I ran this morning. And one of the things I like to do when it's cold in order to like run long distance is I run very far away in the cold. And I only have on my shorts, my t-shirt. And I know if I stop on the way back, I'm just gonna pass away. So you gotta make sure you run all the way back because I will get cold after 3 minutes of not running.
Hmm.
And it's like
I
you
mean,
like I'm going back I'm
in the words
going back to the
of
cold one way or another. Cold or quick.
my senior year history teacher, Mary Ellen Topian, if it's stupid and it works, it ain't stupid.
Mary Ellen Topian is not wrong. Put that on a mug.
Gladly. She was freaking awesome. She was like one of those like people who like just like had done everything. Like she had like I think she had gone to both culinary and law school at some point. She was like some like lived through the 60s like first or second wave feminist. She was insane. I love that woman.
I had a environmental law professor who was an actual eco-terrorist back
That's
in
awesome.
like 60s.
That's fantastic.
And I was like, well, she knows what she's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I will give her that.
Yeah, no. She was she was awesome and she was retiring like the year that like I was a senior and that was her last year teaching. So she had like all of her like personal books that she like, brought in for her classroom, just like, kind of reference material to like share with students and loan out and whatever. And she was getting rid of all of it. So she like would just like give it away to people and we were like having her like sign books for us. I have a copy of a book from her. It's called Are Men Necessary? And in the front cover, she literally just wrote no and handed it back to me. It's like some like feminist theory book that I haven't actually gotten around to reading yet, but I just
So
absolutely love
she
that.
she straight up spoiled the end.
Yeah, I know, rude.
Like, yeah.
But yeah, no. She was the bomb. Love her.
I had a professor as an undergraduate. I will keep it vague because of the crime, but
Okay.
he um he was like really active in like the 60s and 70s. Lots of protesting and various social movements, especially
That's
during
sick.
Vietnam.
Please continue.
But he used to drop hints on occasion. He would never outright say the things that he did. Um, but he hinted very heavily that he may have burned down a draft, like one of the draft locations.
That's awesome.
It
Yeah,
was
no
so funny
names,
to
but
me.
props to this dude.
Yeah, keep it really vague. What are you talking about? My connection to him or what he taught?
Yep.
But he was a super cool dude because I don't know what the statute of limitations is or like.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man, I really wanted to be him when I grew up. Actually, he's the reason I wanted to go to grad school and be a professor.
Oh, I love that
Oh,
for you. That's so
that's really
Yeah,
sweet.
cool. Your origin story.
yeah, he sent me an email. a couple years after I graduated to see like it's like, oh yeah, I just saw that you'd graduated. It's been a couple years, just wanted to see how you were.
That's so sweet.
So nice.
Love that.
I think it's funny. I recently mailed something to Sasha, and I'm like afraid to ask him if he got it yet. Because if it just got like hung up in the mail, I don't want to reveal what it is, but also I'm afraid that he got it and just hasn't said anything.
You want me to ask him?
You can if you want.
Got any cool mail lately? Seen any cool packages?
Yeah.
I'd probably just be like, so did you get something in the mail from Bridget? And he'd be like, no. Like, oh, okay, cool then.
Cool, okay, bye.
He's honestly, I think if you asked that, he wouldn't, and the answer was no, he like wouldn't even like think about it again.
Oh no, yeah, he would not ask any further. He's
he's an incredibly intelligent, incredibly oblivious man. Like I was his TA for 3 semesters. He didn't notice that I had my ears pierced until I shaved my head and was wearing dangly earrings. And he was like, have you always had earrings? I was like, I've been wearing these dangly snake earrings to your class almost every single day for how long? And I've had a pixie cut the whole time? But you notice now when literally all of my hair is gone.
Yep.
What?
And you can distract him very easily too. Just change the subject really quickly and he won't notice.
Yep.
Absolute
Absolute king.
Mm-hmm.
That man is necessary.
That man is necessary. One time I was having a breakdown in my office, and he disappeared for 5 minutes and came back with a little tiny can of Coca-Cola and a handful of chocolate.
Aw.
It's like, thanks! Absolute
people.
legend behavior.
Yes, now that it's been brought to my attention that at least one communication student currently listens to this podcast.
Hi, Rocio!
Yeah.
She's been on the podcast. I can name drop her.
She was in my office yesterday and was like, oh, I've been listening to the podcast. Tell Bridget to keep up the good work.
Oh my god. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Oh, and also, I kept meaning to actually bring this up when we're live. I was looking at our analytics for the first time in a while, because I don't look at it often, because it makes me sad. But I was looking, and I told you guys this. I could not in a million years have guessed where our second most downloads will be coming from outside of the US. Belgium. Thank you, Belgium! Whoever is listening to us out there, thank you so much. We are insanely appreciative, and I was not expecting that whatsoever. So thank you.
Belgians love us.
Apparently. And, like, I sent you guys the actual graph or whatever. Like,
yeah,
it's 400 something downloads, like lifetime downloads from the US. Couple, like 100 and something from Belgium, and then everything else is like broken down into like the tens and lower. I'm like, I was not expecting that at all.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was cool. Maybe I should actually look at our analytics more often now that we're on a consistent schedule again. We'll see. But I guess we can get started with actual questions.
Yeah.
oh boy.
We're having Zach here settle things that Brookes and I personally have gotten heated over in our, what, like 2 years as friends?
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
I'm literally so afraid.
And it's nothing serious. It's just things we have argued about after like a bottle of wine.
They fit the theme of the podcast so well because they're just very silly things. Like they have no consequence.
And
Petty, really.
Oh, speaking of the theme of the podcast, I tried to wear this bracelet and it kept falling off, but I did give it a go. I felt like I bumped up about a number so while I had it on. So that is my story for the day.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
So I have all the things written down, and I guess I'm just gonna read them to prevent any chance of you figuring out who's on which side here, because that's not what we want.
Okay.
We want you to pick a side, and then we can finally put it to rest.
Mm-hmm.
So, for the first one, should you use a dishwasher if you have one available, or always hand wash your dishes no matter what?
Well, it depends. So I always default to the dishwasher, but if what I was eating was something heavy that I know is going to mess up the dishwasher, it gets rinsed off prior to going in the dishwasher.
Okay.
But I would never like hand wash a dish while having a dishwasher available. I would at most rinse off whatever crud was on there.
Let me ask you this: did you have a dishwasher growing up?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any follow-up questions, Bridget?
I don't think so. I mean, I think the only thing would be like, if something's like hand wash only, which like duh.
So I will say this. I had a dishwasher in the house that I grew up in. I moved out when I was still living in New York, and the first place I lived in did not have a dishwasher. But now my apartment here does. So I'm very grateful for that.
Okay. So you are on the side of dishwasher then, final answer.
Yes, if it
Extenuating
is a
extenuating circumstances aside.
binary choice, yes.
Oh, I have another follow-up question.
Go for it.
So I'm assuming your answer is based more on convenience, but do you think there's a difference in cleanliness level between hand washing versus dishwashering?
Using a dishwasher.
That is,
When you say dishwashing, it just sounds like you're washing dishes. It doesn't sound like it's a dishwasher.
yeah.
So using a dishwasher versus hand washing.
Yeah, is there a difference in cleanliness level? Like, does one get cleaner than the other?
Mine of the dishwasher is more consistent. I know that if your dishwasher is kind of on the fritz, it will tend to leave more more stuff on it, and in which case you just have to wash it again, and kind of defeats the point of the dishwasher. I will say this, for some things, like if I have a drink of like coffee and I'm right there, I will like go to the dish, rinse it out thoroughly, and then just put the cup back. If it is something that requires very minimal effort
Oh yeah,
to get
sometimes
the
if
dish
I'm like
back to its
using a
original
mug
state.
throughout the day and I'm refilling it with the same beverage, I'll just like give it a quick rinse.
Yeah, so that's one thing. If my dishwasher is so bad, because like it comes down to what is more convenient. If my dishwasher is so bad that it is really not doing a good job, then I'll just try to clean the dish as I go, put it back.
All right. Do we have any more follow up, or would we like to, or are we gonna get final answer
Ooh,
and reveal who
wait.
wins?
Do I get to guess who took which side?
You can if you want.
Because actually that could be kind of fun.
Have at it.
I think it's
But
probably obvious.
yeah, I think Bridget is pro dishwasher.
Correct.
Yep.
But now I am curious to hear just like the elevator pitches of why we are both for and against them.
Okay,
Like
four.
I'm genuinely curious what the arguments are, because like I could change
Here's my
my
four.
mind if there's an evidence to the contrary.
If it's like, if it works, if it does its job, like, if like it's one thing if like your dishwasher is like, outdated garbage and it's not worth it.
Sure.
It uses less water than hand washing your dishes. And it gets them cleaner because you're using water that's way hotter than what you could actually stand. Like, people are always like, oh, you have to wash things in hot water, which like, good, you should, but also know that water hot enough to kill germs is also water hot enough to burn you. So yeah, so just for convenience, environmental reasons, getting things cleaner, dishwasher. Kind of a no-brainer for me. Again, unless it's like a special like heat-sensitive mug that I like have to wash by hand.
Yeah. I did see somewhere that actually the water temperature doesn't have a huge impact on how clean something is, whether it's dishes or clothes or whatever it is you're using to wash with water. I don't know how true that is,
I
but
think
like
it's like
I've read that
water temperature when you're I think it's hand washing something, because any water that you're going to be able to like touch with your hands or like even with gloves on it's the temperature that would be required to either kill germs like from cold or from heat is
Yeah.
way too high for you, is way too high or low for you to come into contact with, like, period. So that's why I'm pro dishwasher.
Okay.
But even if it is hot enough to kill germs that like hand washing wouldn't be, still clearly hand washing, the temperature you're using is sufficient because I've not yet gotten sick or died from hand
Okay, well,
washing my
yeah,
dishes.
but like that's because there's soap.
Yeah,
But then
so then
wouldn't the soap just take the place of the hot water?
It just feels doubly safe in my mind.
it's illogical.
Huh?
It's not rational because it clearly you don't need it, so it's really just a psychological thing.
If
Okay,
the
yeah,
soap
and I
does the
got
job that the hot
psychological
water
problems.
does.
Next question.
So that is me refuting that argument, though.
Oh my god, here we go.
No, and I agree. If the purpose of cleaning something is to get the germs off, and you can accomplish something without raising water temperatures unsafe levels, then yeah, that reason is a little bit redundant. But I think for me, it's more just like, what do I have time to do? I don't know.
And also, I just sit there feeling bad when I'm like, hey, we just like cooked dinner or whatever and we're hanging out. We like made quesadillas and made a huge mess. And you're like, friggin'. Once I put things back in the fridge and whatever, you're just like, okay, let me just stand here doing the dishes. I'm like, I feel bad and you won't let me help.
I'm very specific about my dishes.
I know, and my
That
mother
is-
raised me to always offer to help clean up because that's what a good guest does. And once I put the shredded cheese and the tortillas away, what is there for me to do?
So using the dishwasher eliminates all the FOMO that a guest might feel.
Yeah, really missing out, especially on cleaning the quesadilla maker. That's a lot of fun.
I feel bad. I feel like I am being a bad guest just standing in your kitchen with my glass of wine while you wash the dishes that I helped create.
To be fair, you're usually dancing, not just standing.
Okay, yeah, that too.
But I have a whole list of arguments.
Yeah.
Firstly, hand washing is much faster. Like, I've used my dishwasher a couple times and it takes like an hour or something. I can wash the same amount of dishes in like 10 minutes.
Wait,
So that,
can I ask something about that?
huh?
How are you measuring time? Are you measuring time from the time that the dish is dirty to the time that it's clean, or how much time you are using to clean the dish?
How much time to actually wash them? Because like
Okay.
when you put it in the dishwasher and you hit start, it takes like an
Yeah.
hour or 2
Oh,
hours, whatever it
yeah.
is. But when I start doing the dishes, I can have the same amount of them washed in 10 minutes. So if there's something like in there that I needed clean or a few things, sometimes there are, right, I can have it clean quickly. I don't have to
Sure.
wait.
Okay.
So there's that. Secondly, I live alone, and so it's kind of inefficient. Like for me to generate enough dishes to fill
I'm
a
finding that.
dishwasher,
Yep.
yeah, it takes a long time. And so I either have to like really stretch out the dishes that I have and try to like, eat cereal out of mugs or something
Okay,
in
I
order
mean,
to
you
make
do
sure
have
I
a
have dishes,
lot of
or,
mugs.
well, yeah, but that's not the point.
Putting that out there.
I don't want to have to like, oh jeez, I just was knocked over my root beer with my wild gesture.
Oh no.
I hit it, it did not go over. But I don't want to have to try to like keep generating dishes to be able to fill up the dishwasher. But I also don't want to have to wait, 4 days to wash the things that I need to be able to fill up the dishwasher. It makes more sense if you have more than one person, but with one person, it doesn't
Sure.
make a lot.
Sure. Okay.
So there's that aspect. 3, I'm like numbering them now apparently.
No, this is great.
3, I've never really paid attention to what is or is not dishwasher safe, so I don't actually know. And some things they do market on there, some things they don't. And for the number of things I just am not sure about, and I'd be afraid to put in the dishwasher, it would probably end up being the majority of my dishes. Like in any given like set of dirty dishes, it would probably be the majority of them that either say hand wash only or don't specify, and I would be afraid to put them in the dishwasher.
Okay.
So I would end up Again, just mostly having to wash them by hand anyway. Further, having to wait to use the dishwasher to be able to fill it up.
Yeah.
So that too. 3.
You already
4.
said 3.
4. I know my numbers. I
You sure that's
definitely
just
learned
root beer in that glass?
at some point in my life. I didn't like skip that part of school. I know how to read. What? Anyway.
Gets PhD without being able to read.
that, that would be more impressive than getting it with being able to read.
Yeah,
I
honestly.
mean, to be fair, we had a president who couldn't read.
Yeah, right? You can do anything when you're
Just
illiterate.
Nice.
Illiterate
Anyway.
or illiterate.
what were we at? Oh, we were on 4.
Yes, 4. So we got 4, the like little detergent things and whatnot for that is like way more expensive than just a bottle of Dawn or whatever you use. It's like much more costly. So there's that. And overall, like really the main reason that I don't use it, and this is why I asked you, Zach, I didn't have one growing up.
Yeah. No, that's very fair.
I didn't have my first dishwasher until I was 22. Yeah, 22 when I started grad school. My apartment had sort of like a mini dishwasher, it wasn't even full size.
Yeah.
But so up to that point in my life, I had hand washed every single dish. It was part of my routine. I've gotten pretty quick and efficient at it. I had my way of doing things. And so like when I actually had dishwashers, it was like, I don't know, it just felt unnecessary, especially given all those reasons I already stated.
Yeah.
I think there's something in what you get used to, where it's just like my brother and I, my one brother Justin, he's like a year and a half older than I am. We always used to ask my mom for a dishwasher, and she would always say like, "Oh, I already have 2 dishwashers, like you and your brother." That was the big joke.
No, but like what you get used to growing up, I totally get, because I grew up shoveling the driveway. And then when I moved out, I had the opportunity to buy a snowblower. Like that wouldn't have been a hard thing to do, but I just shoveled.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get that.
To be fair, I have tried to use the dishwasher. I've done it periodically here and there, and I just get very annoyed with how long it takes and the noise that it makes. And I feel like the dishes smell weird, like a plasticky smell. I don't know why.
Okay.
Plus, when I wash them by myself, I like know they're really clean because I can like inspect them before I put them in the dish drainer, and that makes me feel better. That's a psychological thing.
So we all have our psychological things.
Yeah.
Well, no, Bridget has like the double mask approach to dishwashing where you have both
soap and extremely high temperatures.
Yeah. But no, okay.
Well, and that psychological reason is why I don't let anybody else do the dishes, because if somebody else does them, then I can inspect it before it goes in the dish drainer to make sure it's totally clean.
After all we've been through, you don't trust me.
It's not you. It is literally every person. It drives my mom crazy. She's like, why would you let me? She's kind of given up, but my brother Doug was the same way. He would never let anyone wash his dishes.
Interesting.
Genetic.
Yeah.
And I think there's part of it is like my mom sort of instilled that in me as like a thing to do because like she and her siblings grew up doing dishes all the time and that was just like a part of life and I don't know, something about the work ethic of it, I guess.
Yeah,
perhaps. So hearing our arguments, do you have any changes to your answer?
No, I
guess just overall.
Yeah, no, I get the arguments.
Valid.
And I understand them. I just think for me personally, like a lot of it, like was being said, is what you're used to and comfortable with and can sort of, whatever gives you the most peace of mind. And I think that using my dishwasher is the best use of my own time. It doesn't, weird me out in any way. The one problem I have had and that I can absolutely relate to is it takes me a while to like go through enough dishes to make running it worthwhile, so I'm not running like a quarter of a load. So yeah, I totally get that. And the flip side of that is if stuff does sit there for a while, it like hardens and coagulates on your plate and whatnot, and that gets irritating. So I, yeah,
Do we want
I
any
get it.
consequences for whichever side is not taken in either of our arguments? Nothing
Mhm.
serious,
What?
just if Zach takes your side, the other person has to stop talking about it.
No, that's a personal preference thing. Besides, I'm not the one that brings it up. I just do the dishes when you're here, and you're the one always like,
Because you won't let me help, and it makes me feel guilty.
But
Because I'm
then what's
staying
the
at your house already.
Why is the consequence me not bringing it up when I already don't do that?
Stop being right.
But I really do think this is a situation where I don't necessarily think one's superior over the other. I think it really
Yeah.
is just like a what you're used to kind of thing,
Yeah.
right? Like you mentioned the example of like snowblower versus shoveling. I've had to shovel a little bit, but not a ton. I'd probably go snowblower, you know?
Yeah.
Or
Sure.
like
Absolutely.
imagine not growing up with a washing machine. You know, if you were just kind of
Yeah.
used to it and you had your way of doing things, you know?
Oh,
No,
random
like-
tangent.
Absolutely.
Whenever we had like snow days when I was a little kid, and my dad would have to go out and like snow blow the driveway, my sister and I would like put on our like, you know, little snowsuits and like waddle outside, and we would stand in like the line of fire of like the stuff coming out of the snowblower and just let it like pummel us. So it was like free snowstorm.
Well, like you could absolutely make like if you got a snowblower, then I can make the same arguments for shoveling that you made for hand washing, where like maybe it's less time it's less time consuming depending on how much you're snowblowing, and it's less expensive because you don't have to worry about gas and buying it and maintenance, and like you can absolutely make all the same arguments. But it's just about what living circumstances everyone finds themselves in.
You know, plus, if I were to use my dishwasher, I don't know where I'd put all the stuff I'm storing in it. It's full of just
Okay.
dishes that I have nowhere else to put.
That's very, very fair.
That is a problem
Just
you have
looked at it.
slightly created for yourself, but I do sympathize as a person who has way too many mugs.
Literally nowhere to put it.
Those could be
Actually-
like the tummy dishes that just stay in there and get run with
It, like
the
one of
dirty
those
dishes.
like
Oh no, it's literally full.
like demo prefab houses in the 1950s.
Yeah, or like the way that
they
they
would,
would
like,
put
show
like
you.
cardboard people in the stands of like sporting arenas because people had to be socially distanced and they didn't want empty seats. Like there you go. That's your
So much
placeholder.
fun. Deciding who to put in stands. So
Oh
much
yeah.
fun. You can just imagine it.
Would we like to move on?
Sure.
Okay, next one. When you're like cooking pasta, do you set a timer or do you just like try a noodle and if it's done, it's done?
I just try a noodle.
Thank you.
Hey!
It's not
Yeah,
always the exact same. It doesn't always take the exact same amount of time down to the second for the pasta to be done to the degree that you enjoy.
Zero poker faces all around.
This one is an
Fine.
actual point of contention. Sorry for ruining your chance to guess. But thank you.
No.
I was not expecting the reaction.
This is a situation where it is very much a personal thing because I could never do it the way you do it. I do not have the attention span to remember that I have something on the stove without something beeping at me.
Okay, that's
I
fair.
also have a horrific sense of time. Has it been on there 2 minutes? Has it been 15 minutes? I have no idea.
You're just leaving your pasta?
Okay.
Yes!
I don't do that.
Oh yeah, I get distracted.
You
I'll
gotta
be
stir
on
it.
my phone. I'll be like petting the cats. I'll be like going and be like, oh, was I doing something? And then
Well,
I'll be
like
and it beeps at me, and I'm like, oh yeah, I was making something.
I don't time it, but like I'll keep an eye out. Like I make a mental note of what time it went in,
Yeah,
and when
I
I'm
do that.
stirring it, that's how I'm like grading just how soft it is, and if it looks sufficiently, noodly, then we give it a go.
Yeah, no,
But
vibes only.
See that's different. He says noodly. Is there a difference between, say, spaghetti versus like mac and cheese, where it's harder to tell because it wouldn't be like squiggly?
I can usually tell when I'm cooking like the
no,
shells for macaroni. Like I
yeah,
don't set a timer and I can
yeah, I
tell.
feel like you can tell.
It just it
It
looks
seems so
soft.
inefficient to just keep checking it and like trying them when you could just like set a timer and then not do any of those things.
Oh my God. Do, but do you know what else timers? Dishwashers.
That doesn't make
Just,
any sense.
just.
I don't. There is no. There's no need for a timer when
I
doing
think.
dishes. There's not like a specific time where the dishes need to be done. You know, like it's not.
I don't
That
even need
doesn't
to
I don't
track.
try
know. I
the pasta like multiple times. Like I just know.
yeah.
I
Why?
sacrifice
Why do you
one
need
to
to try
two.
it all?
I sacrifice 1 to 2 noodles tops. Cause sometimes,
But
No,
see,
because even if
here's the fear though,
I
right?
think this might be the most like
'Cause-
heated we've ever been.
good. This is what I want.
But like my fear would be this: if I set a timer for however many minutes, and then the timer goes off, and I never try, and the first time I'm trying the pasta is after it is on the plate
And
with
it's
the sauce on
undercooked.
and everything else, and it's undercooked or it's overcooked. Now I have ruined an entire plate
Thank
I've
you.
of
literally
of
never had that
pasta.
problem. I use a timer every time, and I've never had undercooked or overcooked.
Do you have the most consistent stove top known to man?
It's a stove with a top and burners that get warm that boils the water, just
There
like
are
Do
any other
tiny
stove.
little
you use gas or
minutiae that
electric?
influence
Electric.
things.
Okay.
Chaos theory. Did you not listen to Dr. Ian Malcolm?
Chaos theory doesn't really apply in this case. It's science. That's more about like the general universe and entropy, not about a stove
Like
burner.
descending into chaos.
If you
Yeah.
if you cook pasta for the exact same amount of time every single time, it's not going to turn out the exact same. There are little things that affect it.
Sure, but not enough to be noticeable. As long as you have legitimately boiling water at the same temperature, you put the burner on the same setting each time, you put the pasta in for the same amount of time, scientifically, there is no reason it shouldn't turn out the
I
same.
don't have a burner that like clicks into like a specific position. It's just
No, there's like numbers. You put it on the same number, like a 7.
it can still be a little different.
As long as you do it consistently each time, it shouldn't matter. Again, science.
This is
You
this
have
is BS.
I'm cutting out the unnecessary of the like checking and eating of noodles and just like I just put it in there, push some buttons, pop it and stir if I remember to do so, and then when it beeps at me, I take it off, and that's all.
But if you don't stir, then it all just hardens on the bottom of the
Yeah.
pot.
Well, it doesn't stick to the bottom; it will like kind of clump together toward the top, but that's pretty easily remedied.
All my pasta, if I don't stir, it just gets stuck on the bottom of the pot. I've never had a clump at the top.
Yeah, no, that's
But
not a problem I've ever encountered.
That's only if I completely forget it's there. But if I, again, I don't have a sense of time. If I didn't set a timer, I would have no idea how long it was on there. Like, not a clue. I've always say that whatever internal clock I was supposed to be born with was like broken when I was born because I don't. Time has no meaning for me. I'm
You just
terrible at
look at
this.
the pasta and no.
It looks the same to me.
No?
It does. You can't say no. I said to me it looks the same. You can't disagree with that.
it does not look the same to you.
How can it is my thing. There's so much of a visual difference between like an uncooked, completely dry
It's the same
shell
shape.
pasta and a cooked one.
Yeah, but not between the different levels of cooked. Pretty much once it starts to soften up, it looks the same, and it could be al dente or it could be like well cooked, but it's still going to be the same basic shape. And
I
yeah,
just know. I just look at it and I know.
that makes no sense.
You make no sense.
And this is why I've begun to make mac and cheese.
She doesn't let me make the mac and cheese.
Oh, this reminds me of another thing that we've argued about related to mac and cheese. The little pockets of powder that you refer to like as like little flavor bombs or something. Like little...
When you make mac and cheese.
And the powder doesn't quite like dissolve entirely, and some of the shells will have like little bits of powder in them.
I love it. It's delicious.
Who likes that? I find it horribly disgusting.
It's like, I don't know, chalky.
Yeah. Oh, finally, you're gonna agree with me?
God damn it.
I feel like it has to be fully dissolved. It drives me crazy.
It drives me crazy that you make more dishes by making the cheese sauce in a separate container.
I don't. I mix the cheese in the pan while the noodles are in the colander.
Oh, no, same friend. We were talking about this before you showed up, and I was trying to remember, like, were we fighting over, like, whether or not you have to measure everything out precisely when you, like, make box mac and cheese or whatever? Like, if you have to get, like, an actual, like, measuring cup for the milk or whatever. That was a different friend in college who I had a similar argument with.
I just eyeball that. That's too much work.
Yeah, no. That,
I measure it out.
With baking, you have to be precise. You definitely
measure
don't want to
with,
be
like,
messing
just,
around.
like, boxed mac and cheese or whatever. I just go by vibes.
Yeah, because what happens if I put in too much milk and then I just
Yeah.
created like soup?
I do that sometimes.
Adds variety.
Just like I'm bad at like measuring time, I'm horrible at guessing like measurements like distance and space and volume. I'm horrible. But I do it anyway.
Live life on the edge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
essentially.
Like it's such a thing, especially because you need like a tablespoon of milk for the mac and cheese.
Yeah, I'm
and
not
like
doing
you have
that.
a giant gallon to be able to like tilt that and very delicately pour it into a tablespoon.
I just
I
do
thought
a
it was
little
like a third
splash.
cup.
It's like a tablespoon, I believe. Now I'm not sure.
I mean, it is
I actually don't know
heavily dependent
how
on
those
mac and
are the
It
cheese.
might be,
same.
I think it's the tablespoon of butter.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
That's what I'm getting.
Because I was like, that will be some very sandy mac and cheese.
I do when I'm making
You might like it that way.
Annie's mac, which is my favorite kind of box mac and cheese.
I like
I always
them.
try to like
They've
get
got
away with
the
as
even.
little milk as possible to have the cheese powder fully dissolve, because then you get the most flavor. But that's just me.
All right, so this has been explosive.
I
What is?
That's what I said. That's like the most heated I've ever heard anything get.
like it.
Yeah.
That's what we need to strive for.
It's like a timer.
Is
Totally
it
inconsequential.
acceptable to just eat pickles or mushrooms just out of a can?
I did.
I did not mean to betray that. But your face kind of already did, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but like, I do all the time.
Just
like if I'm making pizza and I open like a can of mushrooms just to put on top of the pizza, I'm definitely snacking on it.
Yeah. See, she makes fun of me because I actually just buy like the cans of mushrooms and I have like these tiny forks and I'll just eat out of the can.
because it's so weird.
No, it's not.
Good.
Yeah.
You're just eating mushrooms out of a can.
Yeah. You eat other things out of a can.
Okay, yeah,
They
but
try to
not
become-
mushrooms.
Why?
Because that's
And
so
you eat-
strange.
Can you eat mushrooms if they're in something else out of a can? Like if it's cream of mushroom soup that's in a can?
I think it's just strange to eat them just by themselves.
But they're good.
I also will
They're
admit
very
that
good.
mushrooms are like, under most circumstances, I'm not nuts about the texture. I will admit my bias there.
Oh, I love
But
a good mushroom.
I just out of a can as a snack.
Mushrooms are one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
And actually, you were mentioning, Zach, that was sort of my gateway, is that I would like, get them to put in stuff and then I would have more than I needed. And so I'm like, oh, super. And especially I could never stop myself. Like as soon as I open it, I'm pulling some out of there and eating them.
It's so good. Yeah.
Even as a kid, my mom would get like the jars of mushrooms and I would eat them. Like I was obsessed with them.
Same with olives. Get a jar of olives.
Okay,
Go
hell
to town
yes.
on
That I will say is a
Oh,
solid yes.
olives make sense, but mushrooms don't.
that.
Yeah, frog
What is the
hands.
functional what is the distinction between olives and mushrooms?
You can make frog
Like,
hands with one.
yeah. That
It just makes a difference, okay?
But also with regard to pickles, literally everybody eats pickles out of the jar.
oh
Like what?
yeah.
Yeah.
That is such a thing.
Okay, yeah, the mushroom
Yeah,
thing
and-
is more of the argument. I just am.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite of the pickle friend.
Like
Yeah.
when I made my nachos earlier that I snapped you,
Those are
not
some good ass
all
nachos. Those look
those were some good ass
delicious.
nachos, but I will tell you what, not all of those olives made it onto that plate. There were some casualties along the way.
Oh yeah, no. When I am making myself a nice quesadilla, and I get the
Mm-hmm.
little can of like the sliced olives,
Mm-hmm.
I am snacking on some of those bad boys.
hmm I always get the little pickle packs, the like little individual serve things of tiny pickles. That's always what I'm eating with my tiny forks when Bridget makes fun of me. My tiny pickles with my tiny fork.
I love the tiny food for tiny
God.
fork thing. Again, just the opposite of the pickle friend.
There's just something satisfying about it because like sometimes you just feel the need to munch on something, but you're not really
Yeah.
hungry per se.
Peppers, celery comes in handy.
Oh,
What
I
does?
can't stand celery.
Celery.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she hates celery.
Disgusting.
I used
Why?
Because it's so stringy.
And there's nothing else you eat that has a stringy texture to it.
Most things that have a stringy texture, that like any kind of like vegetable with a stringy texture, I will avoid.
Pork.
Huh?
Pork.
like pulled pork.
Pulled pork.
It's different. It's just
Sounds like a
different.
vegetable, but I can't think of one.
Like, my mom sometimes makes God, what is it, like the acorn squash? Like you cut it in half.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. There's like certain squashes that are kind of stringy.
Bad. For whatever reason,
When-
that like not necessarily any food that is like shredded. Because like like imitation, like in like that you get in like California rolls or whatever, like the imitation crab meat, like that's a food with a shredded texture sometimes. Fine with that. It's not that. It's the like stringy kind of like cellulosey type thing of like vegetables specifically that are stringy. That I cannot stand. So like several
Alright.
types of squash, celery, disgusting, hate it.
I'm actually not a big squash person. I will say that. I don't dislike it.
Fine.
But-
Doesn't taste.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
I
not
don't have
my
a problem
go-to.
with I don't like the taste of celery. I don't have a problem with the taste of like I've tried like when my mom makes acorn squash sometimes. I've tried it. I'm like,
Wait,
yeah.
did you say you don't like the taste of celery?
Yeah.
The vegetable that like has zero flavor.
I know. It tastes like almost nothing, but the almost is bad.
It's crunchy water.
Whatever the almost is, I hate it.
Well, that's why you get like blue cheese or peanut butter or whatever you would put on celery.
Oh man.
Okay, the
One
peanut
of
butter I
my-
will have to try, but
One of my typical things that I take for lunch is like veggies and hummus, typically
Mhm.
and carrots. And the number of times Bridget walked into my office and said, "Disgusting,"
again, hummus is another thing I have a texture issue with.
because she hates hummus
Oh,
too.
I'm pretty sure half of my bloodstream is hummus. Like, just that's what's powering this body.
It's so good for you.
Yeah, it
I'm
tastes.
like
it's one of the,
it's one of those things
it
I'm
is one
annoyed
of
that
the
I
few
don't
things,
like.
Like, you can like it, and it's really pretty healthy. There's not too many foods that are like that.
Again, I'm annoyed that I don't like it because it is a nice healthy snack, but the texture just offends me on such a visceral level.
Such a fun variety of hummuses too. I get a black bean hummus sometimes. Kind of mix it up.
The black bean. Anything red pepper, spicy.
Yep. Spicy chipotle is my go-to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they make all these weird flavors too. Like I got a lemon and beet one once that was pretty good. But they do they have like a chocolate hummus and like they have like these dessert hummuses. I've never tried any of them,
Oh
but
no.
I'm just upset.
Oh no.
Yeah,
That's
it's like a
not
whole. There's like
That
three or
shouldn't be allowed.
that's not
five.
that's
There's a
just
brownie
dessert
bun. Watch
dip.
what it is.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah, it's brownie bun hummus.
That's Nutella.
yeah.
But it's made of chickpeas.
No.
Yeah,
You
everything
put
like
that phrase
like
back in your mouth right now.
every once in a while, I look at it and I think I should try one of those just because the curiosity is overwhelming. Like, what could that even taste like? But then
I
no.
can like
Every time we are putting together our snack pile for the weekend, you always pick the weirdest Oreos.
Well, yeah, that's fun. Try
yeah.
all the Oreos.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't have a
especially
problem with
not now
that.
because of the Nabisco strike, but
Well, yes.
putting that out there.
We stand labor.
We absolutely do.
Oh,
But I
wait.
don't
Can I
want that in my I don't want that kind of uncertainty in my life.
Oh, that's fun. It's
No.
like trying new things.
I
Yeah.
mean, I like trying new things, but I like if I'm buying Oreos, I want to know I'm gonna like it instead of just having a package of Oreos that I'm just like, oh, this is really disappointing, and now I just have this package of Oreos.
What
I
was
have
thing's a
this
bad Oreo
package.
though?
Yeah.
I've
And,
literally never met an Oreo I didn't like.
yep. Oh, well, that's not.
Now there I can certainly rank them. I mean, like the one with like the lemon filling, I was like, okay, it's not bad, but like it's not chocolate. But
Mhm.
like it's like you can rank a hierarchy of all the Oreos, but
Yeah.
overall,
Yep.
I haven't met an Oreo I disliked.
Interesting.
Every time there's a new one, I get really excited. I try them all.
Me too.
But the bad thing about it though is like if you really like them, they're limited and you'll never have them again, probably. Like I still think about they had those Oreos thins that were pistachio filling, and I think about those all the time. Man, those were good. Or the
Interesting.
watermelon Oreos that I was obsessed with. I could eat those every day.
Those I cannot believe I never tried, but it sounds like it was at a time where I was not doing the grocery shopping.
Yeah, that
It was a
I
while ago, right?
remember very
Yeah.
specifically. It was like 2012, 2013.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that
was
sounds about
not
right.
grocery shopping at that point.
Um,
And and on the times that I was going grocery shopping with my parents, if I was like, "Can we get these watermelon Oreos?" They would have been like, "That's funny," and moved on.
they actually
Like,
had them
yeah,
two summers,
okay,
and I
Perhaps they will
thought,
bring
oh,
them
this is
back.
gonna be another summer thing. Yeah, well, I thought it was like this will be every summer. They had it two in a row, and it was like,
yeah.
no, they haven't had them in like 8 years. Very
Rip.
disappointing. Yeah, I don't know what it is about them, but they're really good.
I don't know if I've ever
Seems
had them, or if I've had them, I cannot remember.
you know, it's one of those things where like when I got them, I thought this sounds disgusting. I'm really excited, and then I loved them, and I was very shocked.
I once saw Sour Patch Kid cereal.
Bad.
I did not buy it, but I have not seen it since, and I kind of wish I had just to like say I had tried it. I
Yeah, no, I'm
cannot
fine never knowing,
imagine.
honestly.
I literally cannot imagine how. No, I see. It was more out of curiosity because like I like Sour Patch Kids and I
Oh yeah,
like
no,
cereal,
I love a Sour
but I
Patch.
can't picture like reconciling the extremely sour nature of a
Yeah, no,
Sour Patch
that's
Kid.
actually I am kind of like I'm very
Both,
curious now.
because both of the things that make a Sour Patch Kid, right? The fact that it's gummy and the fact that it's very sour, neither of those make a good cereal. You don't want your cereal gummy. That's just soggy cereal. And there's no sour cereals. I saw it once. I was like, I'm not going to do that. And then I was like, on second thought, I kind of want to see how they did this. And then just saw
And
the
then it
cereal
disappeared.
again. It must have been that bad.
I
I
love that. That's hysterical.
I love Sour Patch Kids. They're one of my absolute favorite candies.
Yep.
I would eat them by the bucket full if I could.
Yep.
I got like 2 years ago now the Sour Patch Kids Blizzard from Dairy Queen. It is literally just vanilla ice cream with Sour Patch Kids in it. It
Yes,
was
it sounds good.
awful.
Yeah,
Like,
Oh,
okay.
okay. I mean, I take it back.
and I pretty much like everything, right?
Yeah.
Like there are almost no foods that I dislike, and I actually have trouble coming up with one. There's probably something I just can never think of what it might be. But I pretty much like all things. So the fact that I hated it that much, I still ate it because I
Yeah.
hate to waste food, but like The Sour Patch Kids, like you say, they should be gummy, but when they're in ice cream, they get hard.
Yeah,
Because
okay,
Okay,
I can see that being a
that's
problem.
very
I
fair.
was
they're just
about to say that, like, I don't know if the
kind of like
flavor
Yeah.
combination would be ideal, but I also can't picture it being that bad.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
sour and vanilla.
But I feel, but like when you put in that, like, they get like hard in the ice cream, like that sounds like it makes it
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah. The only worst ice cream I've ever had was the lobster ice cream in Bar Harbor. Because they actually, like, they butter the lobster before they put it in there.
Nope,
And it's just,
bad.
I mean, if there is one place you're gonna find
Okay,
lobster ice
yeah.
cream, it's Bar Harbor.
yeah, and they sell
But
T-shirts there that say like "I have the lobster ice cream," the name of
it's
the place.
that novel.
Yeah, it's
But then there are some things that you wouldn't think intuitively go together that do, like chicken and waffles.
This is
Like
true.
chicken and
yeah.
waffles slap. Inherently, I think of like fried chicken and like a sweet waffle. It makes no sense. It makes zero sense why they taste good together.
It is
But
delicious though.
They do.
but
They
but
do.
they do.
Yeah,
If
it's
you're
weird
ever
how
if you
that
ever find
happens.
yourself in Saratoga, go to Hattie's. They have freaking amazing chicken and waffles, and it has like a cayenne maple syrup. It's delicious.
That sounds good.
It is freaking
Also, when
awesome.
we get together, we should get one of those like 3 pound bags of Sour Patch Kids.
Absolutely.
Eat the hell out of some sour patch. Man, I really want some
Mm.
now.
It's okay. We can discuss our, I'm gonna say, imminent meetup at when we're done recording
Yeah.
for tonight.
Yeah.
I
We love
actually
it.
have an errand to run this evening. Like, I gotta stop at the pharmacy to pick up a prescription. I'm like, man, that's like right next door to Wegmans. Sour Patch Kids.
Treat yourself.
Is that like, wow? Yeah.
Okay.
Did you ever eat like the dot candy like from Wegmans? It was like candy, but it was like on paper, and you like
The
peel
candy
the candy
buttons?
off the paper.
Yeah, that was
Yes,
like
thank
almost
you.
press-on earrings. You know,
I
like
love those.
Yeah,
Because it's just
those and like
sugar.
and like you always ended up eating paper
Yeah,
with
you end up
it
eating paper.
and like
It's
spitting out
fine.
the paper after.
it's important.
Yes.
That's part of the experience.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just sugar.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. Let's actually try and keep Poker Faces this question.
Sorry,
I
these
forgot
have been
about
really
a
funny.
question for a second. I
Yeah,
was
we
like, wait,
technically do
what?
have.
What's the anticipation? I forgot.
We have two more
forgot.
actual like hardline questions and then one opinion on XYZ type deal.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
hardline. I don't know what the question is.
Do you need to put sheets on a bed if you're just crashing somewhere for a few nights?
Wait, okay. She
Like, say
Like,
someone's like futon or pull-out couch or
sheet.
whatever. If you're just crashing for
Oh.
like 2-3 nights.
You're sleeping on
I
some
thought
kind
you meant okay. I thought you meant like on a mattress and like you're
Oh.
just gonna sleep.
It is a
like-
mattress because like a pull-out couch has a mattress on it.
Yeah.
It's just thinner and flexible.
So you would be sleeping just on the mattress. Nothing between you and the mattress. Yeah, wait, like is that right?
Mhm.
Then yeah, of course you would need a sheet. I'm not gonna sleep on a mattress. I would be so uncomfortable, both mentally and physically. Like, just thinking about it, I'm worried about my sleep quality tonight because I'm not gonna like get that out of my head. Like, I wouldn't even sleep on an air mattress that didn't have like a sheet on it, and an air mattress is way more of forgiving and like warm surface than just like a bare mattress. But I'm not gonna try to sleep and like raw dog it through the night. Like I need something there to to play the buffer.
Do you have any follow-up
Yeah, any
questions?
guesses?
And
Any
probably
follow-up
review?
questions?
I mean, I'm gonna assume Brooks is pro sheet.
I feel like most of these are pretty obvious just based on our personalities.
It doesn't have to be that complicated. I'm only here for 3 nights.
It takes like less than a minute to put a sheet on there.
I could just put a blanket on there though.
Yeah, but like, so last time she stayed here, it was the first time she slept on the pull-out couch because she normally
Mhm.
just would sleep on the couch. But my parents had brought this like it's actually right here, we're here, this really nice like pillow top cover. So like the pull-out couch was more comfortable, and so she's like, "Oh yeah, I'll sleep on that." And I came up here, and this dresser actually has a bunch of like sheets in it, and I grabbed
Yeah.
the sheets and I brought them downstairs, and she looked at me like I was insane.
It just doesn't need to be that complicated.
It
It's
could have
not
been
complicated.
It would have taken me 20 seconds to unfold that fitted sheet and put it on there.
Yeah, but like you
That's
don't
not
need to
complicated.
though.
Yeah, 'cause the sheets exist for a reason.
Well, I mean,
I
yeah.
You shed skin cells and bacteria. That's
That's why I
thank
just put the
you.
blanket down.
But the blanket's not gonna stay there. Like when you wake up, if you are first of all on the blanket at all, that would be impressive. But like you're gonna have like your leg or your foot or something way off.
I just make myself a little blanket sandwich and it works perfectly.
well, plus blankets, those are harder to wash than sheets because they take much longer to dry when you wash them.
Like I am literally so pro mattress or not pro mattress, pro sheet that it took me like a good minute to determine that we were in fact talking about just sleeping on like a mattress. I, I was like, nobody would do that. Like I'm clearly missing something.
I just don't think it needs
That's
to be that complicated. I just don't think it's necessary. If I'm just crashing there for like a couple nights, I'll just throw a blanket down. It's fine.
But it takes just as much time and effort to put the sheet on there as it does to put the blanket down.
I just find fitted sheets more annoying. Cause I got
But I
the
was
Are they
gonna
too
do it.
consistent for
I
you?
was gonna put the sheet on there.
well, that made me feel bad, and then I didn't want to put the fitted sheet on, so I just didn't.
Well, especially because I'd already brought them downstairs, so you made me bring them all the way back upstairs and put them away.
I'm gonna solve this next time by just bringing a sleeping bag. And then it will no longer be a problem.
There's anything else to say about this one?
Shame me as you see fit in the comments. It's fine.
I've polled people about this question. They all think you're crazy too.
Who have you polled, first of all?
My mom.
Oh, okay. I was like, is this anyone I know? Do I need to be
All
concerned?
people I meet my mother.
Like
For a second, I
one
thought you
day
like brought this to the
you're
comm
just gonna
department.
like walk into a
That
room
would
and
be
see like all of
hysterical.
Bridget's friends and family there could be like, look, first of all, we want you to know we care about you. But we're really concerned about this whole mattress thing. We we've heard you're sleeping on mattresses.
Which out of
We're
context
really worried.
sounds weird.
Yeah.
I do sleep on a mattress.
Mhm.
Okay. I will accept my defeat. I still just don't think it's that big of a deal, but alright. Final one. This one I think if we both poker face this one, I think you
Okay.
might not know right
I
away.
don't even know what the question is, so that makes it harder. Because
Beautiful.
the list you sent me only had 3 things on it, and this is going to be the 5th one, so I didn't know that last one either.
This is the last like hard question, right? And then there's like an opinion piece after.
Yes.
Okay.
This is one we wrote down in like the 5 minutes before Zach showed up.
Oh,
Are White Claws good?
Okay. Objectively, no. But
Okay.
depending on what you are using them for, like, am I gonna slow sip a White Claw? No. That White Claw is not there to taste good. It is there to get in my system and quickly. So when I went away with a bunch of friends, we drank them. I don't think anybody was like, you know, getting real hyped about the quality of drink, but they were cheap and easily accessible, and they served a function. But I would never do like a paint and sip with with a White Claw.
Okay. Any
Can
follow up,
everyone
or would you
please-
like to guess?
well, I just want to everyone to acknowledge and appreciate my stony face. because that was really hard.
You did really good.
I was like squeezing my legs.
I'm very proud.
Expression. Like I'm looking at my video and like, man, I just look like dead inside, and that
Good.
was my goal.
Yeah.
Love it. Yes, would you like to guess, or do you have any follow-up questions?
Oh, I have my guess. But if anybody has any points they want to make,
I mean, I think it's kind of just
questions.
it's
Yeah, I mean,
pretty general.
this I thought was the general opinion question you were referring to. That's why I was confused. Because this to me it's an opinion. I don't think it's not something you can like
Yeah.
really support with arguments per se. It's just like
Okay, then
you
I
like
guess
it
if
or
we're
don't.
defining it that way, then there's two kind of general opinion ones.
Well,
I was just thinking because this one has a
because
hard yes or no, rather than what do you
Yeah.
think of?
well, yeah, because people drink alcohol for different reasons. Um, and like not all alcohol is going to be useful in for all the different reasons you're consuming it.
This is true.
Like if I want to intentionally drink a lot, it's probably not going to be wine. Um, or a whiskey or something that's meant to kind of be nursed.
Mhm.
It's going to be something that I can, it's
So just I
going to be
guess
in a
sort of
can
with
or shot glass
just
or
sort of
yeah.
for with the squad beverage.
Yeah, if I'm with the homies
With the homies.
and we just want to, consume some alcohol, not because we care how it tastes, but because we would like to raise our blood alcohol level, then it's fine. Um,
Fancy.
but if we are hanging out to like debate policy or do like work or get ready for a campaign or something, nobody's bringing White Claw. If we're bringing alcohol, it's going to be, a scotch or bourbon or wine or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
If your goal is to increase your BAC, though, aren't there more efficient ways to do it?
Sure. But like yeah, a shot might have just as much alcohol as one White Claw. And to be fair, I don't actually know what the alcohol levels are
Yeah,
in
no,
either of them.
we're not doing
I
actual
know
math
that
here.
yeah, but usually I'm not doing shots just like without having drank anything before that.
Yeah. I guess a better
Um,
way to phrase it would be can White Claws be enjoyed, yes or no?
oh, then yeah.
I was going to rephrase the
Um,
last question to
oh
say
no, yeah, go ahead.
where where I asked about the efficiency. I guess more the question is, aren't there better tasting ways to achieve that goal? Is more what I was getting at, I think.
Yes, but when you have college students who are eating 50-cent ramen, you're not necessarily aiming for what tastes the best. It's like what six pack or what 12 pack can I buy for $4?
I mean, yeah, I did that too, but like I would get like Mike's Hard Lemonade or something like that.
I like Mike's.
That was our go-to beverage in
Yeah.
college.
I
No,
dig that.
and so all right, let me put it this way. Ooh, well, my voice is cracked. It's unfortunate again. Let me
It's
put
me
it this way.
legitimately trying to understand.
If whenever I have brought alcohol somewhere, it honestly is normally Mike's. That is usually my go-to. If
Good
somebody
go-to.
else has brought White Claw, I'm not going to not drink it. Um, if if I'm just going over to someone's dorm and we're hanging out and then we're all like, hey, let's just drink a little bit, and they have White Claw on hand, I'm not going to be like, actually, I'm not going to drink because I don't like this. There are drinks that I will take over White Claw, yes, because White Claw, in my opinion, is a very low quality beverage. It does not taste great. I'm not a big seltzer person to begin with, so then you add alcohol to it, and
Okay,
it's
valid.
even worse. Um, so it does not taste good, in my opinion, but um, it serves a purpose.
Okay.
And if that's all that there is, then yeah. If if you're just trying to drink for the sake of drinking, then my standards drop a lot.
Do you want to take a guess as to who falls where?
I have one very specific reason I think Bridget is okay with White Claw, and that is because when we swapped, because we had like clothes we weren't using, and we swapped them, and you threw in with that a White Claw scented candle,
Oh yeah.
which
Took an
I
old White
still
Claw
have.
can, stuck a candle wick in it.
Yeah,
White Claw candle. I saw it on TikTok.
yeah, White Claw candle, which I drove away from when we had gotten coffee or food or whatever it was,
Yeah.
and halfway through the trip realized I had this candle sitting in the cup holder of my front seat and was like, oh my
Oops.
God. I was like, nope, in the glove compartment you go. Because like it's a can of White Claw, it's a candle, but it doesn't look like that when you're driving by me at 40, 50 miles an hour.
This is quite true.
A candle of White Claw.
I think they're
Yeah, I see
fine.
that.
I mean, okay, I also am a big seltzer person to begin with. And I know everyone has their like jokes about how like LaCroix doesn't taste like anything. I enjoy LaCroix. I like a LaCroix. Make fun of me as you see fit. I've heard it all. I like a White Claw.
I
I
have
mean, there
tried
are
to get into
beverages
seltzer.
that I think are like
I'll say that.
better, but I like a White Claw.
To me, it tastes like it's chemically taste. Like it's.
I agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, I think some flavors are better than others. Like the black cherry is really pretty artificial tasting, but like the lemon White Claw, I'm here for it.
Ye- So there are some things that I think taste worse than White Claw. The like the like strawberries or
Those
cocoritas
are
or whatever
awful.
those
I
like cans
hate
are,
them.
disgusting.
They're
I will take a
so
White Claw
bad.
over those any day. It is like literally like I hate those so much.
They're so bad. I
Um,
hate them.
they really are.
They are
Like
terrible.
White Claw is literally like a fine bourbon compared to those things.
Correct.
It's that bad.
Yeah, no, those are awful.
I feel like if I were in the scenario where I was like hanging out with people and somebody brought White Claw and that was the only beverage option, I mean, yeah, I would drink it because it's better than nothing.
Sure.
That's as much as I will say about it. That's positive. It's better than
And
literally drinking nothing.
and I agree with that. It is not a good tasting drink, but if it is all that's there,
Yeah.
like I'm not going to not hang out with my friends and get drunk because I don't like White Claw.
And I just feel like there's so many better, like equally cheap options. Again, you can get like malt beverages that have more flavor to them. You can just get like a cheap bottle of wine that's like $4 and get drunk for like $4,
Yeah.
which I would take over White Claw.
I mean,
I bet it's
literally all of these are
awful.
correct. I just kind of like White Claw.
Well, that was why that was the question. Is it good or not?
Yeah, I think it's all right.
Wait, so so I guess the question, Bridget, is would you go out of your way to drink a White Claw, or would you simply not mind if it was already there?
I mean, I have purchased them, if that's the question.
Okay. So like you have seen the array of beverages in the fridge or whatever and thought I'm gonna pick this one over the rest of them.
I mean, yeah,
Okay.
sometimes.
Okay.
Cause
Yeah.
like
See, like
in our like, you know, kind of basement beer fridge, it's a lot of like stuff that my dad drinks and then like a couple seltzers and like yeah, sometimes I will have an actual like, you know, kind of craft brewery or whatever. But
yeah.
sometimes White Claw.
Okay. That's fair. I just know for me it's not what I'm going to pick out if I'm the one if I'm bringing alcohol somewhere. It will
Okay, yeah, so I
honestly
guess that's my
usually
thing.
be
I
Mike's or
sometimes I
or
will
a
pick it out.
Smirnoff, like Smirnoff Ice or something.
Those are pretty good.
If we're just going for something like yeah. Um, and of course, if you're going with like hard liquor, then that's how I would picture. But yeah, usually Mike's is my go-to.
I've had exactly the one White Claw ever because it was my first TikTok video. That was the only reason I bought it.
Love that for you.
And I took the sip to make the video, and then I was like, oh no, I have this whole ass can I gotta drink.
Yeah, you bought a
It
tall
took me,
boy.
like, it took all day. I think I was texting you, Bridget, like, while I was drinking it, like, this day.
You absolutely were, because you're like, I have a department meeting and I still have this.
Make it stop. There be less White Claw in this can, please.
Okay. Final one. This one isn't a yes or no. This is just a what do you think of Four Locos?
Never had one.
That's easy and quick.
Okay.
Wait, hang on. Okay, so are we talking about like the original Four Loco that was like killing people, or
No.
like the new and
Current
improved?
ones.
Okay,
Current.
okay. Well, I don't really know why I asked because I've never had either of them, but
Yeah.
I was curious. Yeah, I will say hard pass on the original one. I mean, combining that much caffeine and alcohol was
Yeah,
just
no,
like
I'm not
assisted
looking for
suicide.
anyone to die.
Yeah. I have not had one. I would not be opposed to trying one.
You know
Which,
what we're doing when we get together.
huh? Yeah.
Yeah, you
Oh,
want to
no,
tell
absolutely.
Are you comfortable
always
sharing
down to
how
try
old
new
you were
stuff.
the first time you ever tried one?
Did you try the original one?
No,
No,
it
no,
was
no.
just,
Okay.
I never had
Oh,
one for
okay.
We drank Four Locos while you dyed my hair.
Yeah, that was great.
I
Well, now
believe
I feel better. Like,
Tried a Four Loco
but
for the first time at age what?
35? Yeah, would have been.
Oh yeah, I have that. You can't
aw,
see, but the Hamilton is playing on the TV.
Yeah. It's hard. I
I
know it's
love
hard to
that.
see. That's me sitting on a towel on my living room floor with hair dye in my hair and a Four Loco next to me. Four Loco is right there.
I
I
love that
love
picture.
that.
It's great. Yeah,
It's sitting right here behind me.
I love that so much. Yeah, I didn't even take convincing. I was just like, hey, I have a terrible idea. We should do Four Loco Friday, and you were like, okay.
And then we've got two each.
Oh no.
Little cans.
I know they're a lot. Like, what?
Yeah,
Like,
I am
how much
more
alcohol are they again?
like for
What is it,
like
like
12 or 14% alcohol.
Okay, yeah.
They are not good.
Here's the thing, they're not. I am just more willing to deal with it for the results than you are.
Yeah.
You had that was it like a Four Loco seltzer?
Yeah.
That was just one of the worst things I've ever had in my mouth.
Yeah, it was bad. It's not that good, but like Four Loco Friday, baby.
Yeah, no, that one's a hard pass. I would definitely drink Four Locos again, but never go near the Four Loco seltzer.
Okay, well, I know what we're
That
doing when
sounds
we all hang
terrible.
out.
That sounds
One of
absolutely
several
terrible.
things.
That's
So
an
bad.
experience I'm okay passing on.
Yeah, I had the watermelon Four Loco in that picture. It's sickeningly sweet and tastes very artificial.
Yep. Yeah, no, they're
Wait.
pretty gross. It's a fun college vibe thing to do
Yeah.
every now and again if you're looking to really party.
Take a break from my craft beers and single malt scotch. Drink the Four
Speaking of like beverages and college beverages, where do we fall on just like energy drinks, energy shots, and things like that?
I was never a fan.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they taste horrible. And I want caffeine, coffee.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I will down lattes and tea all day for my caffeine. Never a fan.
Okay. So I was
fair,
never a
I
big
had that,
energy. I was never a big like energy drink person, but like I'm fine with a 5 hour or any of their knockoffs. It's like
I mean, I'm
because
sure
it's
they
not
have
a
their
lot.
uses.
Oh, and yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, for one, they're very convenient and small.
Yeah.
But yeah, um, I mean, in college, if I was pulling an all-nighter and I needed something like strong,
Yeah.
I would drink it. I don't think I ever drank an energy drink that I was like, wow, this tastes good, and I would just like sip this while watching a movie. Like,
Yeah, no,
no.
they
Um,
are simply there to serve a purpose.
Yep.
I don't know if anyone actually enjoys them.
Well, some people
Oh,
must.
Well,
I'll
I feel
just
some people must, I guess.
Yeah. Like there's Rockstar
Yeah.
energy drinks. People are like obsessed, or like Monster. People are obsessed with those.
Rockstar doesn't suck taste-wise. It
Interesting.
is not going to be my go-to, but in terms of purely taste, it tastes better than like a White Claw, for sure. Like if like not to bring it back to that, but like
Oh yeah, no, 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 no.
if White Claws tasted like rock stars, I would be pretty amenable to them.
Good to know.
Amenable.
I haven't tried most energy drinks, but I have a feeling they would be sort of like Four Locos in the sense of having like artificial flavor and kind of being
Yeah, just like a
overly.
little bit battery acid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Um,
Red Bull to me is bad in the same way that seltzer is bad.
well, it's funny. My first energy drink was in high school and it was for science because I was taking a sports physiology class and we all had to do reports on the effects of different beverages on athletic performance. And
Oh,
so
that's
people
cool.
got like water and chocolate milk and Gatorade and like and like soda, like a whole host of things.
Mm.
And I got assigned um, energy drinks. And I was like, I've never had an energy drink before, and I should probably at least have one if I'm going to write about it. And I did. And it was a rock star, and I was like, this does not suck. I brought in another can because like people would bring in like the whatever they were having and just like poured like the little plastic shot glasses and we passed them around and yeah, it was for
Bummer
science.
for the milk person.
Hmm?
It's a bummer for the chocolate milk person. That'd be
Yeah,
challenge.
yeah. It was nice for all of us. We had to drink chocolate milk, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually
although I have
tried an
heard
energy
chocolate milk
drink.
is like a really good post-workout.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
actually, I was just about
Right,
to say
okay.
that.
Hmm.
I pretty much
It's
always
so
do that.
weird, but like it has all the stuff you need.
And I
Yep.
mean,
I really
who
like
doesn't love a good
protein
chalky
carbs.
milk?
That's one of my that and cottage cheese, even though cottage cheese doesn't have the carbs. So I'll have to
Interesting.
supplement with something, but yeah, it's a good go to.
I love a good
Yeah.
some appy slices with peanut butter after workout. I'm a big fan.
I think I got a
That
slice
sounds
of
good.
that.
But I have one of those the thing we just
Oh,
shake.
Yeah, I
yeah,
know what you're talking
I do.
about.
I do too, and that's what I use. But last time I tried, like the apple I had was like a weird angle or something when it was sitting down, and I got it like hopelessly stuck on there.
Oh yeah, one time I had an apple where like I didn't realize that at the widest point it was wider than the slicer. Oops.
Yeah, been there too. And it's so hard to get it off if you
Oh
can't,
my god, I
keep
know.
on.
That was a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Pretend I
I
did
think
not
that's
see
kind
it.
of difficult to wash.
I just put them in the dishwasher.
I know that's why I laughed.
Couldn't relate.
That is something I would much rather throw in a dishwasher, but I can't really just wash that on its own. So
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
That I do
yeah.
get. All right. I was a little afraid that we were gonna like blow through these because I went nuts planning for the next episode, which yeah, okay, I think we're safe to announce. For our 50th episode that is coming up, we're collaborating with the YouTube channel Snake Discovery and doing an episode all about our opinions on snakes, reptiles, all that kind of fun stuff. And Zach, I know you don't have a snake, but we do need someone who doesn't have stake in the game to have opinions.
Okay.
So you are going to be our sort of unbiased potential tiebreaker.
or shall we say doesn't have snake in the
Doesn't
game?
have snake in the game.
I like that.
So yeah, so you don't have like, if we're talking about like, species or whatever, I would obviously be partial to ball pythons because I have one. She's obviously going to be partial to hognoses because she has one. But now we have somebody who can have an objective opinion, which is good.
Yeah. Okay. Let me find out what my homies at Vans are doing, but other than that,
Heck yeah.
it will be hype.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's exciting. Stay tuned for that.
But it's also the 50th episode.
Yes!
And
And I
that's
can't
the
believe
reason
we've been going this long, which is insane.
Well, you.
Yeah.
Well, okay, yeah, just like the podcast in general, I can't believe it's
I
been.
jumped on like 3 episodes ago.
I can't believe the podcast in general has been going this long because I, as a person, tend to be someone who like I get really into things and then I drop it off for a while and then I'll like pick it back up like with all of my hobbies and like all the different video games I play. Like I'll like get really into something and be obsessed with it for a while, and then I won't touch it forever. And and so the cycle repeats itself. But I've been pretty consistent with this, so I'm really proud of myself for that. And of course, big thank you to everyone who helps me out, because if y'all weren't here, I'd just be talking to no one. And I don't think that would work for the format.
You could just do the thing where, you just had the camera and like invert it so you could look like you were talking to yourself, Do like yourself talking at this angle and then invert the camera so it looks like you're talking at that angle kind of thing.
I could, but I think that'd be less fun.
Is that like the Ben Shapiro model podcasting where you just like talk to yourself for an hour?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's literally all it is.
What an idiot.
I've never listened to it.
I do occasionally listen to Ben Shapiro just to get an idea of what is going on over there.
Sure.
And
I love the amount of tweets where he like accidentally like exposes himself.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
Where he's like, "Oh yeah, my daughter went into my wife's bedroom." I'm like, "Wife's bedroom?"
It's literally the one I was thinking of. He was like, "My daughter came into my bedroom and asked me this," and I was like, "Blah blah blah," and then she went into my wife's bedroom, and everyone was like, "Say that again."
Say that again. Beautiful. Love
God,
to see
it's
it.
so funny. It's almost like I don't know, because he talks at like 4 times the speed of a normal person.
Yeah, I feel like it can't be real.
And I think he tweets the same way too. Like he like fires it off and then he's like, "Wait a second."
Yeah. Always good for some entertainment.
No, he was literally like what was the one where he was like, "My wife has like a medical problem where like she can't get sexually aroused," and everyone's like, "Maybe that's not her." It was the funniest thing.
Self-burn, those are rare.
Yeah, no, literally. It's like, first of all, why?
Why would you put that on the internet? And second of all,
yeah, he's like, he was like, "It's not me," and the whole internet was like, "What's not you?" I was just, oh my god.
Or the one where he said like he had his kids' DNA tested to like make sure they were his. I was like, why would you be doing that in the first place?
And why would you tell people?
Yeah, and why would you tell people? And I don't know if this one was real or not, but like something about his wife being on vacation in Hawaii with her personal trainer or something. And I don't know if that one was from a meme account or not, but if it is, like, dude.
I haven't seen it, but honestly,
Thanks.
it wouldn't be inconsistent with the rest of his tweets.
Yeah. Ouch.
Yeah.
I kind of feel sorry for him.
Can't exactly speed talk your way to attractiveness.
Yeah. Well, that was a fun little
like
5-minute roast. That was good.
I mean, okay, but if anybody is deserving of a roast, if anybody's begging to be roasted,
It's Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
Let's be real here. All right, but yes, we will be back next week with Snake Discovery. I cannot believe it. Very exciting. And by the time this is out, we will be back up streaming again regularly, and I don't think, based on the calendar I was looking at today, I don't think we have any stream breaks coming up for like holidays or anything. I don't think any holidays are falling on a Sunday. Holidays are falling on a Sunday for a little while, so I think we should be good for that. And
Sunday after Thanksgiving, I'd probably have to stream from my parents' house.
ooh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, like as long as that's not like a big scheduling issue for anyone, then we shouldn't have any stream breaks for the entire month of November, which is cool. So that should put us a decent ways into talking about Squid Game, which I am planning on binging everything I haven't watched yet on Sunday, so it's all really fresh in my mind before the stream.
Wait, have you like continued on into it post episode 2?
No, I've been playing a lot of Elder Scrolls.
Oh, wait, have you heard? Okay, I just started listening to this, and I was like, and I started listening, and I was like, oh my god, Bridget would love this. Have you listened to the podcast Rabbits?
No, but I've heard a lot of people who are
Oh,
like,
you
oh,
have
if you like the
to.
Magnus Archives, if you like Archive
It
81, you'll like this. That is on my
100%
list.
your vibe. 100% your vibe.
Hell
like,
yeah.
yeah.
I will.
I literally started listening to it on the train to work yesterday, and I was like scrolling through Twitter, and within like a minute, I was like, okay, I need to stop scrolling because I need to be like listening to what's going on. Like it's really good.
It's that
Um,
one's it's an audio drama, right?
yeah,
Okay, yeah, cool. I have a lengthy list of audio dramas that are to be listened to, and that one is definitely
yeah,
on there. I think the next one I'm gonna
it's good.
do once I eventually finish working my way through last podcast on the left. I think I'm gonna do Hello from the Hallowoods because I've heard really good things about that one too. But Rabbits is also on there.
Hmm.
Also, Arcade 81 season 4, please. I'm begging you. It's another really good audio drama to listen to. But also, there's some big cliffhangers going on right now. Okay, I think that wraps us up for today. Any concluding thoughts we'd like to leave the people with? I know that as soon as the words leave my mouth, y'all will have nothing, which is fine.
Words.
I like it. Zach?
Uh,
All right. Bye, everyone.
but
This week's episode of the Fighting with Friends podcast was hosted by Bridget Kelly, Zach Calderon, and Dr. Sarah Brookes. You can find other episodes of the podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, or your other favorite listening platform. Follow us on Twitter at BridgetKelly98, at Zach Calderon, and at @AndSarahSaid. Rate and review us on your podcatcher of choice. Like, comment, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch, and join our Discord community using the links in the description. You can also help support us via the Acast supporter feature, or consider donating to our Patreon. Thanks for listening!